What's up, guys? Operator Poopski here, and today we're going to start an eight-part series on the primary weapons in Onward, starting with Marsoc and the Rifleman class. And at the top of the list, we have the M16A4. It is an assault rifle that offers a semi-auto or a 3-round burst. If you don't know what semi-auto means, that means one trigger pull, one shot, and 3-round burst speaks for itself. Magazine type is drop-free. And the bolt type is a hold open, chambered in 5.56 NATO. You get 4 magazines at 30 rounds a pop, and the damage is says low, but it's what you'd expect for an assault rifle. 700 rounds per minute. The recoil is in fact low, and the range is 800 meters with very high penetration. Let's take a quick look at it. FYI, I'm going to be reviewing all of the guns without any attachments just to keep things nice and simple. We'll do a video later showing all the optics and all the little neat gadgets you can put on it. So here we go with a 3-round burst. Frankly, I'm not a big fan of the 3-round burst. I don't like how it controls. I always go semi-auto. And as stated before, it's a hold open bolt, so when you're all done, that puppy's open, and you can drop it without having to pull on the charging handle. Of course, you could pull on it if you want to be cool. Yeah, all right. There we go. M16A4. Okay, next up we got the MK16. It is an assault rifle, offers semi-auto or full auto. The magazine type is the same. Actually, it's safe to say that all of the Marsoc assault rifles, except for the M39, are drop-free, hold open, 5.56 NATO, and the stats are relatively the same. There's a little bit of difference in rate of fire. I guess the range is significantly different with the MK16. It's 500 meters versus the 800 on the M16, but yeah, you get it. The same though, 4 magazines, 30 rounds. Higher damage though, I gotta say, this thing it packs a wallop, and the recoil honestly is to me it feels the same, but then again I only shoot semi-auto typically, so let's go give it a look. I don't like how this gun looks. I think it's kind of gross. Not that should matter, but it does, doesn't it? But that's the only thing I don't like about it. You know, the M16 is kind of the go-to. It's like the Ryu of guns. It's balanced all across the board. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. But the MK16 just has that little bit more wallop without seemingly any real difference in recoil, and I don't even have a foregrip on there. You should see how it shoots with the foregrip. And yeah, the full auto, yes, it has full auto. That's cool if you're into that. And hold open. Oh. MK16, a very tasty gun. I wouldn't say it's a replacement for the M16, but if you want to try something different, go for it. Oh, it's also important to note that the MK16 is 2 points, so you know, if you're worried about carrying an extra grenade or something, then that might pose an issue. Right, so up next the M39 EMR. It is a marksman rifle, semi-auto only, manual release, hold open bolt type, but this one is chambered in 7.62 NATO. And you're only going to get 20 rounds per magazine, of which you get 4. The penetration is very high, 850 range, probably, if I'm not mistaken, the highest range of any of the assault rifles in the rifleman class. Recoil is high, and the rate of fire is significantly lower. And the damage, I think, is the highest of the whole lot. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Probably because it's in 7.62 NATO. Anyways, let's go take a look. So I gotta be honest with you, this might be my favorite gun to use in the game, maybe, if not second favorite. As I said before, I like my semi-auto fire, and this gun is probably, it's my opinion, it's the beast. It's the best of semi-auto. Not so great for close-range encounters, but if you put that angled sight on it, it works pretty well, but we'll get to that in a different video. Ooh, I don't know if I've ever even shot this with iron sights. I'm probably gonna sick. Yeah, that seemed okay. Anyways, it's just like all the other Marsoc Rifleman guns. It's a hold open with the Oh, I'm sorry. No, this one does not drop free. So when you drop that magazine release, nothing happens. You're gonna have to go in there, pull it out. But the bolt is hold open, so you can drop that guy when you're ready. That is not ready. So there we go. Honestly, I think I like it because it just looks so cool. I mean, actually, this one looks kind of like dog shit, but because it's missing optics and all that and a foregrip, but I think it's a great gun. Also important to note that this is also 2 points, and if you're into this gun, you might want to consider whether or not you want to use it as a rifleman or use it as a marksman, because it'll have slightly different stats and slightly different attachments that you can use with it depending on which class you pick. So in this case, you can take the standard as you would for any rifle, assault rifle, a foregrip, laser sight, suppressor, flashlight. And marksman, you have different attachments that you can put on it. So you should balance, you should check what you would prefer. And also the magazine's size is going to be different based on which class you're in. So just keep note of that and figure out which class is best for you. I think I prefer marksman when I'm using this one. I'm kind of blanking on that, but I think I prefer marksman. Anyways, moving on. So next up is the AUG A3, which is a very tasty looking space gun. Something that's important to note with this one is that its point value is +3, but it comes with a foregrip, which is basically why it's 3, because it's got that foregrip. But that's pretty cool. Is it not an awesome gun? I mean, Die Hard, obviously. It is the only Marsoc bullpup gun. It is chambered in 5.56. The bolt type is hold open. The magazine type, though, is manual release. So if you're switching between guns, just realize that there's a couple that are manual release. Semi-auto, full auto. Same as all the other assault rifles, 30 rounds with 4 magazines. It's important to note that the range is significantly lower than the other guns. But the handling is much better because it's a bullpup, which we'll see that in a second. The rate of fire, pretty high, but I wouldn't recommend the full auto. And the damage is decent. It's very decent. I would say, honestly, I don't even pay attention to the bars in the game. I pay attention to how quickly they drop when I shoot them. And it seems like per shot, I would say, using the M16 as a benchmark, the AUG is definitely more powerful. Right, so it is always cool that regardless, you'll always get that foregrip. And when you shoulder it, just like with any bullpup, it's nice and tight, very short, which, why don't we take it over to the CQC range? Because this is definitely where it shines. I would pass on the full auto. Yeah, it is a tasty, sweet little short gun. You know, I would take it on giant maps like Downfall or Turbine. Well, maybe Turbine, depending on how you're playing that. But it is a great gun, and I wouldn't sweat the range too much, depending on the optics that you have. But I'll tell you the truth, I don't use it that much. It's kind of my when I feel like messing around, if I'm drunk halfway through the session and I don't care anymore. This is my I don't care anymore gun. And you know, that's just me. Yeah, you know, take my opinions with a grain of salt. You might rock this one. Oh, I got that one back there. I wasn't even shooting at it. Or was I? Or was I? Yeah, anyways, the Seog 3. I apologize. Maybe you don't know what a bullpup gun is, so you can see how the magazine is behind the grip, right? Now, compare it to basically every other gun here, M16. See how the magazine is in front of the grip? That creates a much shorter gun, whereas you can still get the same barrel length, but overall, it's a shorter gun. All right, last one is the AK-5C. I honestly, I think this is the best overall gun in the Rifleman class for Marsoc. It is delightfully balanced as far as points go. It's the same as the M16. It's only 1 point, and you can fit so many things on it, and it the recoil, all of it is great. Here, it's the same as the M16. Drop free, hold open 5.56 NATO, semi-auto, full auto. I'm sorry, not the same in that sense. It's full auto, but 30 rounds, 4 magazines, high penetration. The range is 400 meters versus the M16's 800, but in my experience, I've made the same shots with it. And have the same results. I don't know, maybe I just think that, but I'm shooting twice as many bullets to make the hit. Who knows? But as far as I'm concerned, it's just as good, but for whatever reason, it seems to handle just that little bit better. I mean, take that with a grain of salt, but let's go check it out. It doesn't look like much without any attachments on it. Oh. It doesn't look like much, but I also feel like in close quarters it has better handling. Maybe I'm just imagining that. I don't know, but don't sleep on this gun. Try it out. Yes, everyone loves the M16. I love the M16. It's still the majority of the time I'm using the M16. Typically because when you get drunk and you're still playing, you want a gun that you just know you're going to be able to shoot right. I mean, relatively speaking. Anyways, but try this one out. It's worth it. Oh, look at that. All right. Anyways, guys, those are all the assault rifles for the Marsoc class. Rifleman is probably what you'll typically use, and it's very important if you're just starting, which these videos are for people who are just starting the game. I recommend, like, all this stuff is fine, but and on the shooting range, go ahead, try out whatever. Go for it. But if you're jumping into games and you don't want to be that guy who's just failing all the time, stick to Rifleman. Find what suits you. Start with the M16 or the AK-5C, and you'll be golden. Find an optic that you can use accurately and consistently, and you'll be good. Anyways, that's all for this video, and check out the next one. The next one, we're going to check out the specialist class, and peace.